Hi, I'm Suhavna. I'm a clinical psychologist and I'll be answering some of your questions today about sleep difficulties. Screen time just before we go to sleep is not the healthiest way to fall asleep because screen time facilitates us to stay awake. That is, if we're reading a book and we were to get tired, our body and mind was to indicate that we are tired, we are most likely to close the book and go to sleep. But if we're watching something on a screen, we're likely to push it an extra 5 minutes and delay our sleep pattern. So it does interfere with our overall sleep pattern. And once we delay it, there's a likelihood that we may not be able to fall asleep immediately. So screen time interferes with our sleep. It's best not to have screen time just before we try to fall asleep. Overthinking can interfere with our sleep. It's like if one were to give you a maths problem just before you go to sleep, you're likely to finish the maths problem and only then fall asleep, or give up on solving it and only then go to sleep. You won't be able to fall asleep when your mind is actively trying to fixate or focus on something. So it's important for us to not be thinking or not be worrying just before we fall asleep, because that is going to hinder our sleep and once again delay it. Behavioral therapy is a very good therapy, but whether behavioral therapy will be the right therapy for you might be a decision that you and a professional should collaboratively decide on, because it will be based on your characteristics, your personality, your difficulties, what is happening with your sleep at that given point of time. So it must be made specifically for you, the type of therapy that you go through to improve your sleep. So at the most basic level, it's important that we don't eat just before we fall asleep on a regular basis, that we don't exercise just before falling asleep, because both of these energize our bodies and don't facilitate sleep per se. Of course, there are times where we've just finished exercising or we've just finished eating and we do fall asleep, but as a pattern, it's better if we don't do these two just before sleeping. It's important though to get some amount of exercise done through the day and to eat a few hours before you go to sleep. It's also important that you try to go to sleep at the same time every night and you get at least 6 to 8 hours of night sleep. Night sleep is more important than daytime sleep. So these things very simply will help us improve our sleep. So in insomnia, you might have difficulties not just with falling asleep, but with staying asleep and or waking up early. There are also different kinds of sleep difficulties, not just insomnia. It might be important for us to understand what your difficulties are before we characterize it as one or the other. I'd like to clarify some of these statements that you're wondering whether they were myths or they were facts. Is caffeine, alcohol, or nicotine affecting one's sleep cycle true? Yes, it is true. It does affect our sleep cycle. All of these are drugs, and when ingested frequently, they do have an effect on our brain, which has an effect on our sleep cycle directly. So, frequently consuming this can interfere, either making us sleep later, making us sleep earlier, or disturbing our sleep in the middle of the night. For example, if we consume a lot of alcohol, you might feel discomfort in the middle of the night, or you might wake up later because your brain is more tired. So it does interfere on a long-term basis with our sleep patterns. The older you get, the fewer hours sleep you need. So when we're infants to when we grow up to adolescence, we do require less sleep because we spend a large part of our day sleeping when we're infants. But as we grow up, we need about 7 to 8 hours of sleep on average, which stays constant from our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. With some elderly people, that is 60 years and above, their sleep patterns might change, and so they might need a little less sleep. but that is a person to person basis and age related changes that happen with all the other age related changes in one's body. Daytime sleepiness always means a person isn't getting enough sleep. Daytime sleepiness does not only indicate that you're not getting enough sleep. You might be fatigued through the day for varying reasons. Maybe your nutrition isn't enough, your water isn't enough, maybe you are anxious, you are stressed about things. It's important to assess why this is happening. But that being said, if I'm not getting my 7 to 8 hours of sleep in the night, it might influence how tired I am in the daytime. So if we're only sleeping at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., I'm bound to wake up later in the day, but also be more tired later in the day, because night sleep is different from us sleeping in the daytime. So it's important for us to assess why daytime sleepiness is happening. It does not always indicate that a person isn't getting enough sleep and hence wants to sleep through the day.